Well, Kenya's latest Olympic champion Vivian Cheruiyot is still coming to terms with her victory in the 5,000 meters over Ethiopian rival Almaz Ayana. Following Ayana's blistering run to a world record in the 10,000 meters, many Kenyan fans were content to settle for the lesser medals, but the duo of Vivian Cheruiyot and Hellen Obiri stunned the Ethiopian to relegate her to bronze. The 32-year-old suffered heartbreak in London 2012 when a misjudgment cost her the 5,000 meters gold. But on Friday, she wouldn't let anything ruin her quest for a first ever Olympic gold.
I don't know how to say by now, because I was so happy when I was crossing the line. I could not believe that I'm an Olympic champion in 5,000. So we were saying like, today Ayana she's not going to get any medal. We were believing like that, to say, let us do our best and we'll run our best.
I am disappointed because my intention was to win both races, but unfortunately it did not work out in the 5,000 meters. I'm quite disappointed.
Well, let's keep the talk going on the Olympic Games. Here in studio, I'm joined by former Kenyan athlete and sports marketing consultant Martin Keno. Martin, thank you again for joining us. Talking about Kenya and Ethiopia's rivalry, obviously this has been a decent year, you could say, for Kenyan athletics, but maybe not so for Ethiopian athletes on the track. So maybe what went wrong this time around?
Well, the Ethiopians have always been dependent on that definitive star athletes to double, usually in 5,000, 10,000 meters. And this year that star is, Ayana was attempting to do so, but she failed in 5,000. And that's been sort of Ethiopia's undoing, is that they always depend on that one star athlete to do so. You know, previously there was Dibaba, there was Haile Gebrselassie, Kenenisa Bekele, and for the men, it's really lacking in that sense. And Kenyans have really capitalized, not only Kenyans, but Mo Farah has been the dominant athlete in the men's side in the long distance races.
Indeed.
So we are missing, they're missing that star athlete to deliver the gold for them on their typical events in the 5,000, 10,000 meters.
All right. Now, Martin, obviously you have been an athlete before. You've run, on the global stage representing Kenya. But talking about maybe a sore topic for Kenyan athletics is defections of athletes. We did see, for example, Ruth Jebet win gold in her event. What can maybe African countries like Kenya, like Ethiopia do to maybe prevent this defection of athletes to run for other nations?
Well, at the end of the day, it's really all about recognition and incentives locally, financial incentives. And if athletes feel they don't get the opportunity to be recognized for their achievements and get competitive opportunities, as you know, Kenya and Ethiopia, possibly even Nigeria, are very competitive in their strong events. And so athletes in the second, third tier tend to be open to opportunities to be really to defect to other countries.
Right.
And so at the end of the day, if these countries, our countries, can spend more in recognizing and providing financial incentives, then you'll see the majority of the defections go down, because it's really, at the end of the day, athletes have a short lifespan on the track, and they want to maximize that opportunity and their talent on that. So if they can get the financial incentives, if they can be competitive, then you'll see very few defections.
All right. Finally, Martin, obviously we did bring you in at the beginning of the Olympic Games. You talked to us about, we previewed all the Olympic Games. Now looking at the tail end, just before the closing ceremony, do you think it's been a successful Olympics for African athletics and sports in general?
Indeed. I mean, looking at, the performances by African athletes, all the way from 400 meters to the 10,000 meters. We've had 2 world records. We didn't expect to have world records on the track for an Olympic Games, and Van Niekerk, delivered, an absolutely amazing 400 meter win. Ayana delivered an incredible 10,000 meter world record, and in between, of course, our Kenyan athletes have dominated their events, and so it's been a successful Olympics for African athletes, and we're not done yet. We've got 3 more events coming through tonight and tomorrow. So we believe that this is one of the most successful Olympics for African athletes.
All right, Martin, thank you very much for joining us. As always, it's a pleasure having you with us here on Matchpoint. Martin Keno, a former Kenyan athlete turned sports marketing consultant, joining us here on Matchpoint.